Welcome to the Bible Chapter Summaries Podcast. Episode 8 features narratives on Genesis 15, Genesis 16, and Matthew 8. Let's dive in. Genesis 15, God's covenant with Abram. In Genesis 15, God makes a profound covenant with Abram. The chapter begins with God appearing to Abram in a vision, reassuring him, "Do not be afraid, Abram. I am your shield, your very great reward." Abram expresses his concern to God about having no offspring and his servant Eliezer of Damascus being his heir. God promises Abram that his own biological son will be his heir, and takes him outside to look at the stars, stating, "Look up at the sky and count the stars. If indeed you can count them, so shall your offspring be." Abram believes the Lord, and God credits it to him as righteousness. God further promises Abram the land from the river of Egypt to the great river the Euphrates. To solidify this promise, God instructs Abram to bring a heifer, a goat, a ram, a dove, and a young pigeon. Abram cuts the animals, except the birds, in half and arranges the halves opposite each other. As the sun sets, Abram falls into a deep sleep, and a thick and dreadful darkness comes over him. God speaks to Abram, foretelling the future of his descendants, including their enslavement and mistreatment in a foreign land for 400 years, but also their eventual liberation with great possessions. As the sun sets and darkness falls, a smoking firepot with a blazing torch appears and passes between the pieces of the animals. This signifies the covenant God makes with Abram, promising him the land from the river of Egypt to the Euphrates. Genesis 16, the birth of Ishmael. In Genesis 16 we learn about the birth of Ishmael. Sarai, Abram's wife, has borne him no children. She suggests to Abram that he take her Egyptian maidservant Hagar as a concubine to bear children on her behalf. Abram agrees and Hagar conceives. However, once Hagar becomes pregnant, she begins to despise Sarai. Sarai complains to Abram and he tells her to do as she pleases with Hagar. Sarai mistreats Hagar, causing her to flee. An angel of the Lord finds Hagar near a spring in the desert and instructs her to return to Sarai and submit to her. The angel also promises that her descendants will be too numerous to count, and tells her she will have a son named Ishmael, meaning God hears because the Lord has heard of her misery. The angel prophesies that Ishmael will be a wild man, living in hostility toward all his brothers. Hagar returns and gives birth to Abram's son. Abram names the boy Ishmael. Abram is 86 years old when Ishmael is born. Matthew chapter 8 highlights a series of miracles and displays of Jesus' authority. It begins with Jesus coming down from the mountainside where a large crowd follows him. A man with leprosy approaches and kneels before Jesus saying, "Lord, if you are willing, you can make me clean." Jesus reaches out, touches the man and says, "I am willing, be clean." Immediately the man is cleansed of his leprosy. Next, a Roman centurion comes to Jesus, pleading for his servant who is paralyzed and in great suffering. Jesus offers to go and heal the servant, but the centurion expresses his unworthiness to have Jesus come under his roof and declares his faith in Jesus' authority to heal from a distance. Jesus marvels at his faith and says, "Truly I tell you, I have not found anyone in Israel with such great faith." He then tells the centurion, "Go, let it be done just as you believed it would." The servant is healed at that very hour. Jesus then goes to Peter's house where he heals Peter's mother-in-law who is lying in bed with a fever. She gets up and begins to serve them. That evening, many who are demon-possessed are brought to Jesus, and he drives out the spirits with a word and heals all the sick, fulfilling the prophecy of Isaiah. He took up our infirmities and bore our diseases. As Jesus prepares to cross the lake, a teacher of the law declares his willingness to follow him wherever he goes. Jesus replies, "Foxes have dens and birds have nests, but the Son of Man has no place to lay his head." Another disciple asks for permission to bury his father first, but Jesus responds, "Follow me, and let the dead bury their own dead." Jesus and his disciples get into a boat, and a furious storm arises. The disciples wake Jesus, fearful for their lives, and he rebukes them for their lack of faith before calming the storm with a command. The men are amazed and ask, "What kind of man is this? Even the winds and the waves obey him." Upon reaching the other side of the lake, Jesus encounters two demon-possessed men coming from the tombs. They recognize Jesus and plead with him to cast them into a herd of pigs if he drives them out. Jesus commands them to go, and the demons enter the pigs, which rush down a steep bank into the lake and drown. The herdsmen flee to the town to report everything, and the whole town comes out to meet Jesus, urging him to leave their region. Thank you for watching this podcast to the end. Please find links to useful resources in the video description section and on the pinned comment. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment. Until the next video, may the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord turn his face towards you and give you peace. Amen.